What do you mean it's back?
At night, I am sometimes visited.
What do you see?
The rumor online is that this woman, Mora, will show up in AI images, only with pictures of death and gore.
It's making me nervous. Are you the only one here?
I've got nowhere else to go.
We're here finally.
Happy Halloween!
Halloween!
Happy Halloween, our favorite time!
It really. I was out with my kids in Germany doing some trick or treating a little earlier, Pat, and hey, they were all telling me like, "Oh man, we want to go to the U.S. and experience Halloween in the United States because it's just so crazy there." And I'm like, "Yes, you should."
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. We're early here, 2:30 on the East Coast, so the trick-or-treaters haven't quite hit the street yet. But we are already having a little festivities here in the Prophets Theater. We're screening 3 horror films today, some classic horror films, some of my favorite. The first one being Carnival of Souls, Herc Harvey's B-movie masterpiece in black and white.
There it is.
Oh.
Look at this.
Other soundtrack here.
Well, and Pat, as we get into our little mini marathon tonight, that anybody can hop in the block and come watch with us. We haven't so good. The way the classics were filmed, I feel like were so edgy because it was such new territory.
Yeah.
So like it really freed them up to experiment and just say, you know what, like this would be cool if we shoot it this way. And so I love getting this kind of like Hitchcockian, different angles and viewpoints, and I just think it's always really fun to see that.
It's great, and I just love the shots. Look at that, and that's me, by the way. In I think that's like the 5th row from the screen. I like to be a little bit closer. I like to be a little closer to the screen, so I'm down in the 5th row. If you want to join me down there, I'm seated there.
Oh yeah, there.
2:00. We've been having a good time. There's 7 other people in the theater at the moment.
Henry?
Wow.
It's the middle of the day on Halloween.
Miss Thomas.
Everybody's working, doing things. But
Hey.
we're sidebarring here, and we're watching classic horror movies. This is great.
Yeah, and so if you want the live experience, go to blockofhorror.com. One click, you're in basically. Go into the Prophets Theater, and you come watch some classic horror movies with us right now for free.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot in here. This is one of our first events after Oktoberfest.
He has the room across
We're
the
going to be
hall.
doing a lot of events in here, special screenings. So stay tuned to our social media pages, our websites, all of that. But right now,
Me and you and Mr.
come
Linden.
on to
Us three is all
blockofhorror.com.
there is in this
Head
house.
into the
Look,
Prophets
but your mother
Theater
passed him
on
out
the left.
there.
Walk over there, and you can join us
You're
in
needing
the
this
theater right
food.
now watching Carnival of Souls.
Eating makes you
Love
jumpy
it.
sometimes.
Well, so tell me
Maybe you heard the boards
as we
pop
talk
or
about the
something.
movie and
These
kind of
old
what's
houses
happening.
creak worse than
Obviously
mine
it's
do.
Halloween. Let's start with that. Like, give me like your favorite, like, I don't know, like Halloween memory or something that really just kind of etches you, especially from like a child's perspective. Like when you were younger, what was your first like Halloween, and like every year you're always looking
It's
forward
these
to
old
it. Like you have a
houses,
specific memory, like something
They're
that
big
just,
enough so that you could
I don't know,
hide a man
took
in
you to
every
that special
corner.
place.
Yeah, for sure. I'll share some Halloween memories with you.
You just gotta not
on
let your
your tab
imagination
in
run away.
Blockstack,
Are you going out there? Well, of course.
don't hear the theater.
Let me see.
Because sometimes it might be hard for folks to hear us over the audio inside the theater. Now they can't hear us in the theater because we like to mute the
I know.
mics unless we're doing a Q&A or something like that. But for this one, just so we can they can hear us a little better, we can mute that tab.
How is that? Is that better?
There's nobody there.
I still hear her. I don't know.
Now you just go and
Okay,
eat
let's try
that
this.
sandwich
How about
I
that? Does
made
that
for you.
feel better? I turned down our music.
Don't drink the coffee if coffee keeps you
I
awake.
think the sound is still playing in the theater on your tab. Whatever tab you have open for the block. That tab you have to. Let me see. Watch this. Hold on
A second.
There we go. I did it. I muted the screen audio for you, so we don't have to hear the screen audio. I can always unmute it if we want to, but I did it here on our back end. I did a little mute of the screen share, which is great. And we're chatting. People are chatting with us in here too. Oh, Chompy's here too.
Chompy.
Oh, hey, Chompy is part of our team. She's amazing, but she's also in the theater watching along with Carnival of Souls right now. And yeah, this is a perfect Halloween event.
Oh.
I mean, what's better than joining the community, joining fellow horror fans in a theater and watching a really creepy film together and having that shared experience? Nothing's better. Nothing is better on Halloween.
And consider this, the development team is amazing. So we, after the very first day, I think we implemented a new way of getting full screen. So if you really just want the movie going experience, like you're right there, you're full screen on your computer. If you just hit the number 2, it takes you to this view. And if you hit 1, it goes back to where you're sitting. So you can kind of pick and choose a different viewpoint that you would like to experience. So if you really want that full effect, if you want to have this and you want to pop back out and, kind of zoom out and see your avatar, here I am kind of taking up the space in the middle of the film. If that makes you feel good, you can do that. You can watch it however you want. But ultimately, it's basically gives you the leverage of you have the experience you'd like. So I think that's really cool.
Definitely. So yeah, favorite memories, Halloween memories of childhood, I would say definitely visiting family in my costumes, because like no one's more accepting of your costume than your family. So I just have these, and plus what great memories to be shared all these years after. I have amazing photos of all the costumes throughout the years, and there were some great ones. I was like Crypt Keeper one year. I was like a devil one year. There were so many really good ones. I loved like the really grotesque masks, obviously, that were like the Trick or Treat studio type masks. So yeah, I mean, those are my greatest memories of like going to family's house, going to the door, getting candy, things like that. But also I loved those like houses when you're trick-or-treating, the garages, and people would like let you in and do their own like mini haunted houses. Those were always so much fun. So those are like my best memories of Halloween growing up. And I still have those memories to this day. And these are memories that later on tonight I can carry on with my, my nephews and everything. Taking them out trick-or-treating, and they're the perfect age. One's like 1, one's 4. So we're going to take them out tonight, and they're all dressed up. So what about you, Zach? What were some fun Halloween memories?
Well, I'll start with kind of what happened tonight is I kind of realized watching my daughter, she's 5, I don't even know what she was tonight. Because we're in Germany, so our typical attire is not really here. So we kind of did some makeshift stuff. Like I actually didn't even have a costume. I promised the Oracle I'll never do that again. But I could have made something up last minute. I was just busy doing stuff for you guys. But my daughter, she had we found like wings at a small consignment shop, and like she has her unicorn dress, and so she kind of made like this amalgamation of a unicorn butterfly creature thing. It was great, and she was super thrilled about it. She was excited about it. And like you could just tell she was beaming from like 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. until we got there, of just like, when are we gonna go? I can't wait for Halloween. I can't wait to go, trick or treating and hang out with friends and get stuff. And so it just kind of reminded me of that feeling when I was a kid. At that age, like I have specific memories of being like, dressed up as a pumpkin and like super excited to go to my grandparents' house and then go to another kid's house and just like. And it wasn't even just about the candy, like you said. It was a lot about just like the expression, right? Like being able to dress up and to kind of show off, especially when you're a kid. You kind of get treated as a kid a lot, and so I think by letting kids be more expressive with something they're wearing, it can at times, like through Halloween, give them kind of a confidence of just kind of like expressing themselves. And like, I get a different kind of treatment almost by adults, and they, I go to their door, they say hi to me and are really kind and offer me things. And, so there's less like standoffishness and like, oh, you're an adult and you're a kid, and it's more, equal footing for them. And so I think that might be in part why it's so kind of liberating for kids, especially, is beyond the candy and all that cool stuff. It's a chance for them to express themselves as kids. So
for sure, that's such a good one. And I think as we get older, we try. At least myself, every year, the magic gets a little bit less, threatens to get a little bit less for Halloween. When you grow up and you realize that the real world has such pressures on you and stressors and things happen in the real world, and you're not a kid anymore, and you have things to worry about and obligations and all that. You're constantly searching for new and exciting outlets for things to do on Halloween, right? I went through this period where I would go to haunted houses, right? And, those were like part of the season. You would do 2 or 3 of those. And that was like through my 20s. And then in my 30s, I was like, well, I'm going to rent some great horror movies and do screenings and all that. And now, what offerings are there on Halloween to get in that Halloween spirit that are new and fresh? And we have this virtual world, Block of Horror, which is an outlet for people of all ages. And it doesn't take a huge commitment to get in the Halloween spirit and share the experience with others. All you have to do is go to one website on a desktop computer, blockofhorror.com. Go in blockofhorror.com, click enter, go right to a theater, and we're all in here watching together, watching films, watching horror movies. And you can do this while you're working. It's very low impact, and it's a good opportunity to share the experience with others, like I said, and which is what we're doing. So, I would say everybody should get on right now, get on blockofhorror.com, come into the theater and experience it for themselves, because it truly is a really unique shared Halloween experience to get you in the spooky season. And this is all year round. So Halloween for us doesn't end on the 31st of October. Halloween is 365, 24/7. And we're going to be doing events like this to keep the Halloween spirit intact all year long. Because I know everybody out there could celebrate Halloween every day of the year. Like when Halloween ends, we're sort of going into a depression, and you're either a Christmas person or you want Halloween to be the rest of the year. But the fun carries on here on blockofhorror.com in our virtual world on the block.
Well, and to speak to that, because me, I kind of probably go too deep, too often, too many times. But so for me, like again, back to what we were just kind of talking about with like self-expression, Halloween is like the one day where everybody agrees that we can all just get fucking wild, right? Like we can all just, what do you want to be this year, Pat? Like I've been some crazy shit over the years, and and because we all accept each other, just going, hey, do whatever you want, right? And like, but that's kind of what the broader horror community to me represents, and to a large degree, is what you just kind of said, is almost like it can be Halloween every day. Like, and it's not just about like, being our favorite monsters and all that cool stuff. It's also about just like, be who you want to be as an individual. And it's just such an empowering thing. And that's why I think Halloween has such such staying power, is it's like, yeah, kids love candy and all that stuff. But again, it's without the costumes, without the ability of self-expression, I don't think Halloween would be what it is. And it just goes to show that like what we're really trying to do at the Block of Horror is through your avatar, through your expression in the virtual space, like it's essentially like an extension of, like Pat just said, Halloween every single day. And so come be who you want to be, come express how you want to express. And obviously share that experience with other people that feel similarly. So yeah. And if you look on the screen, you can see the chat. So like, if you want to have a different kind of movie going experience, you can watch the movie like we're doing right now. You see my chat up here on the right. I said, happy Halloween. Karen said, yay, Chompy's here. Hello, Zach. Karen's awesome. Karen's like a day one OG. She's like been with us literally since like day one. And she's always, anything we do, she's there. Like, I don't even know how I can't even keep track of the things we're doing. She keeps better track than I think I do. Like, she's everywhere all the time on top of it. She's great. So he is here. I'm just going to comment. And so this was really fun too, Pat, for the when we did our interactive virtual screening of Lab Rat in the virtual theater. It really was interesting because the film gives you choices to decide how the story unfolds, what happens to the characters, and we could all communicate via chat while it's happening to get the audience to sway one way or the other, try to convince people. So it's kind of like live, like, I don't know, just trying to convince your friends to pick a certain choice.
Right.
So again, it's like a totally different experience that I think we can have in the virtual space, watching movies with friends and fellow horror enthusiasts, etc.
Yeah, I totally agree. And, this also blows this wide, this distribution angle wide open, because like we're always constantly saying, hey, how do you distribute your films, right? And have viewers watch them, more people watch them, because that's the goal, right? Like we all love the shared experience of the theater, which this uniquely offers. I will say every time I come to this theater and look around and see the names and then watch the screen, it's just as fun as a shared experience. I'm telling you right now, like, and I'm a big proponent of being in the theater and sharing with audiences and seeing their faces and all of that. Now we can even, if we wanted to put the mics on and hear the gasps for a movie, right? If we wanted to. It's a unique distribution angle for those who want their films seen, their horror films seen. We can screen you in the theater here, and we can have a true audience come in the thousands watching your movie. It's the same thing, because that's really the goal of filmmakers, is when you make a movie, you put your heart and soul into it and you want it to be seen, right? And that's usually the biggest challenge, is getting that distribution for your film. Because you can make a movie, anybody can go out, take your iPhone, put a great fun horror movie together, but like that, then once it's done, where is it going to be seen? And even if it's a great polished movie, sometimes these don't get distribution. I mean, we're dealing with that now with, films like Toxic Avenger and other movies that people were like, I'd love to see this, right, somewhere. We don't, we just need permission to screen it from you, to tell you on the honest truth. And we need you, the audience, to come in and share this experience and, get used to being in the block of horror and being in a theater that's virtual and sharing that experience together. And once we get to that level, I mean, the sky's the limit. It's a completely new distribution platform for film.
And to your point, I've noticed this. Like, I don't watch YouTube and Netflix nearly as much, and it's the same reason why I didn't play video games much by myself, is I realized, as I got older, kind of self-evaluating, I like shared experiences. Like, personally, I don't want to go in a video game where it's an amazing story just by myself. Like, if I do it, if you and me, Pat, if you were like, Zach, you got to play this game with me. It's amazing. It's got great story. And me and you are going to have a great time. I'd be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. But if you're like, Zach, go check out this game by yourself, I would be like, not going to do it. Right. That's the benefit of this virtual world, right? Is especially through the lens of the pandemic. When we were all locked down, we couldn't really do a whole lot. Like, this would solve for let's say the next pandemic. Hopefully that never happens. Yeah. But this idea that if we're in a virtual space, we're all on social media, we're all on YouTube or Facebook or Netflix or whatever. It's great for consuming great stuff, but there's something missing, at least personally for me. And what's missing is literally the shared experience, where there's just an ability to communicate, potentially see each other, talk to each other in different ways, and then interact in a deeper, more meaningful way around the things that we enjoy. So that's what Block of Horror is also working to solve. And again, kind of like Pat's talking about, it just comes back to you, right? The whoever is listening, any of our keepers of the block, like this ultimately is geared towards being what we collectively can make it. So it's not my vision, it's not Pat's vision, it's not Mike's vision. It's literally like all of our vision, and we're just taking the best of the best with our other keepers of the block and just improving the experience, doing new, cool, fun stuff. How crazy can we get? What kind of things can we break? All that stuff is fair game. And so it's just, this has been a great starting point. I think me and Pat have done live streams now every day, but I genuinely, Pat, and looking forward to it. And I have so much I have to do otherwise. I have plenty of stuff I need to be doing, but I'm actually like, I guess I get to go hang out at a block of horror for a few hours.
Yeah,
it's okay
for a little bit, just to get the word out. I mean, like, because there's no way people are gonna know, and horror fans are gonna know about Block of Horror otherwise. I mean, it's up to us to really just get the word out there elsewhere outside of Block of Horror, and get folks in here to experience it for themselves. Because the world right now, the only barrier here is the fact that is the education barrier, is that you just don't know it exists, or if you know it exists, you're kind of apprehensive about it. It's like, oh, this is kind of different. It's kind of new. It's kind of, avant-garde, right? But that's what movements are about, right? I mean, the biggest companies, the biggest brands, they've all had this, this like resistance from their audience just at the beginning. There's a song about it. There's a jazz song called "They All Laughed," and it's just all about everybody throughout history, about Columbus and Marconi and all these people, and everybody laughed at them when they came up with a thing at first. And it's not just about laughing; it's just about adoption. It's about getting used to it in society. And this is just one of those things. And I'll be honest, it's something I had to get used to too. The first time I came into Block of Horror, but it didn't take long. Once I was in here for like 10, 15 minutes, okay, I'm comfortable with this,
I remember that. Pat was hilarious. Pat had this kind of like, what do? I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody help me.
How do I move? I can't, I'm bumping into walls. How do I do this? How do I do that? And, and then I realized, right, like how to navigate everything, how to use my WASD key, front, left, right, back. And how to navigate the world and how to run around it. And day by day, I got better at it, and just, it became natural, right? It's just like texting or anything else. It's that first, time you do it, it has that little awkwardness, and then you just kind of break through that, and you realize the reward is so worth the trial.
And that's with any new tech and anything. And that's why ultimately, that's why we're gonna be doing a lot of live streams and just kind of showing people what's happening and any of the latest stuff that we're going to add to it, and new screenings, new kind of gamifications, new kind of games, is really just to show people like, this is fun. Again, even Aaron's mini game he made just as like a template to have in Horror Hounds is like, I played it for like 10 minutes and there is no game. It's just, you just jump back and forth.
No resolution at all.
There's no, it's not even a game yet. So, but eventually we're going to have those types of games, like different types of just fun, horror-centered activations, games, community events, collaborations, like the Off the Block that Pat and Aaron did, all kinds of things that we can do. It's just going to inevitably be a better experience, and be more meaningful and a little more impressionable through the virtual world kind of experience, because it's like we're meeting up at a coffee shop, i.e. Bones Coffee, right? So it's just, it just takes time to onboard people. And kind of get them comfortable with like, what do I do now? Like, I've seen these guys stream like 10 times in a row. Okay, I guess I'll just click that link. Boom, you're in. You're like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I can create an avatar. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. They have movies playing. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. They have these cool horror games. Oh, they have an exclusive what? Oh, Kelly Maroney. Oh, what? Wait, I can get a 25% discount on all my favorite horror brands. Wait, what? Wait, that was free? Yeah. It's just hop in. That's all it is.
And right, again, we're in the theater right now, and we're seated in the theater. We're seated in the actual row of the theater, watching this on a screen in a virtual theater. Now, we're going to show you right now is that you can come and go as you please. So the film is going on right now. You might be enjoying the film. I mean, I love this film, but maybe you want to take a break, right? Like from the movie, and you want to jump out of the theater and go somewhere else. So I'm going to actually stand up from the theater now myself.
Join me, Pat. And as good as this movie's been, and I don't think I've seen this movie, because the classics I've got to catch up on. But man, I mean, just seeing,
like, I've seen it a million
some
times.
of it. I mean, I've got to sit down and watch this straight through, because I mean, just the cinematography in this, I can tell quickly, is damn good. Like, this is really good.
And it's a B movie too. It's it was made for pennies probably, and at the time it was super B. And it's always been like kind of a public domain kind of film. But let's go out of the theater now.
Check it out.
We'll grab a coffee.
Ooh, I like coffee.
So now we're in the lobby of the.
I like the taste.
Oh yeah, now we're in the lobby of the theater.
Oh.
Obviously, me and Zach are hanging out in the lobby. This would be the time where we get a popcorn. Ozzy, let's go up here and sit for a little bit on one of these stools. Yeah. So now we're seated in the concession stand here. Oh,
I'm sitting on the floor.
Did you just fall? Did you? Are you okay, Zach?
I think I'm stuck. Here, let me age. All right. I'm gonna come from behind. Do. I'm okay. All right, I'm back. Let's try it. Oh my gosh, my guy does not want to sit normal. Oh, he's sitting through the floor. Let's just sit on the counter.
Oh, well, fine. This block of horror, you can sit wherever. But you can see our beautiful concession stand. We got a popcorn machine. We'll move around a little bit, and you can even still see the chat of what's going on in the theater. If you hit the chat,
oh yeah, boom, perfect.
You could see all of the different what people are saying inside the theater, so you could still kind of get like a recap of what's going on inside. But then you can take a break, and we can talk to each other, like out here as well. So we have a little conversation outside, hang out in the lobby for a little bit, and just kind of shoot the shit, which is a lot of fun. If we want to take a break from the movie. So there's a lot of places to hang out. Now, if we want to, we can leave the theater, which we'll do, and grab a Bones coffee. I'm
stuck. I'm stuck in the middle of the floor. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, you should get out of there. Who's out here with us? Who's this?
That's Karen.
Oh, hey, Karen. Karen's out in the lobby too, taking a break. We're gonna head out into the block now.
All right, we're gonna load in. Here we go.
We're heading out to the main block now, and we're gonna grab a coffee at the Bones Coffee Shop, because we can come and go freely.
The Bones Coffee Store.
Bones Coffee Store. Yeah, we can come and go freely in the block of horror. So we're not stuck in a theater, and there's not one place, right? It's not just one spot where you have to stay there and watch the movie and this and that. There's so much to explore and so much to do here that that's just one facet of it. So you could spend a whole day in the block doing different things and exploring different places. So we got a movie going on, but then when you're sort of want a little break from that, or if it's an intermission or the movie's over between the next, we have 3 movies playing today: Carnival of Souls, Night of the Living Dead, classic, and The Brain That Wouldn't Die, another fun B movie. But in between films, when you're done, come out here and explore more and just get used to the world, get used to the environment a little bit.
Here we go. This beautiful Prophets Theater.
That's the front. That's the front of our theater, Prophets Theater. So that's what it looks like when you come on Block of Horror. Now my baseball coach used to say, "Now you know what it looks like, right?" So this is what it looks like. So when you first get in, it's to your left. Head to your left. Pop in. Oh, you just see me. A manifest.
Oh, you just spawned. You're here. Hi, Pat. Right. Welcome back.
I just walked out of the theater, and we're now on the Block of Horror. Let's go over to the coffee shop. We can see what kind of.
Let's go get some coffee.
Remember, WASD. W is forward, A left and right, and then you can kind of move, and S is backwards. And you can kind of move around too with your mouse. Actually, of a gentle dance.
Hi, Boney.
Oh, I'm going to be sitting. Oh, you're going to talk to Boney. So you can talk to there are different people on the block, no matter what time of day.
I want coffee.
You can talk to him a little bit. You can even ask about his favorite coffee brand and what flavors he likes the best. And he'll talk to you and he'll tell you about it.
Oh, look at that. Allow me to present you to the eerie and delightful offerings from Bones Coffee Company. S'more time. Oh, he's telling me all the brands they have, all the coffees they have.
Yeah.
Maple Bacon, Highland Grog.
Oh, Maple Bacon.
Jacked O-Lantern. That's a great name.
Jacked O-Lantern's a good one for the fall.
Have you tried all of them? Have you bought all of their coffees?
I haven't bought all of them, but I bought a good deal of them. And I have my favorites, so I'll do like an order, and I'll kind of like repeat my favorite Bones coffee, and then I'll kind of like circle around to a new one, and I'll get a couple new ones with each batch, and eventually I experience them all.
You would probably make a great spokesman for Bones in the virtual world. Like if we have a Pat NPC in the Bones Coffee Store that works for Bones Coffee. Yeah. And it's just like, hey, I'm Pat. Welcome to my favorite coffee store.
Sign me up. I mean, we got a skeleton behind the counter here making coffee like all day long. You can see him. He's our little bony barista.
I'm waving.
As you can see, he's making the coffee for everyone. But behind him, Zach, click on a bag and see what kind of coffee you can purchase from Block of Horror in the Bones Coffee Shop.
Okay, apple cider donut.
Okay, that's awesome. So apple cider donuts are one of my favorite things to experience in the fall. There is no Halloween season, spooky season without an apple cider donut. And you can experience it now in the form of coffee. Every morning with your cup of coffee, your whole house smells like apple cider donut. It's the perfect fall flavor, and I believe it's a seasonal flavor. So this is something you'll want to get ASAP before it's gone and before like the batch runs out. Stock up on it if you just love apple cider donut throughout the year. But from here, you can see the bag. You can kind of take a look at the back, the flavors, all of that. Read a little bit about it, and then you can actually order the coffee right here. If you click on order now, it doesn't pop up in the share screen here, but like when you click on order now, it goes to the coffee. You can purchase the coffee right here from the Block of Horror. You don't have to go anywhere else. You've just purchased a bag of coffee from a virtual world. And that's really impressive.
So the link I clicked takes me right to this in the world. We're doing a little makeshift workaround here for the live stream purposes. Here, let me click this. And bada bing, bada boom. And so, here we go. We got apple cider. Let me add that to my cart.
Yes, please.
Let's do.
What else we got going on?
I just love this Army of Dark Chocolate. That looks.
I love Army of Dark Chocolate. One of my favorites. It really does taste like
Franken Bones, Dusk. Everything donuts. I bet they really like donuts. Jack-o'-lantern. It's such a good name.
You know, it's a good one. Jack-o'-lantern. It's so spicy. It's kind of like that pumpkin spice flavor. You know what I also like? From Dusk Till Donuts. It's a jelly donut flavor.
Wait, where's that? Let me see. Oh, I might have to go elsewhere. Hold on.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's also there. It is. It's on the right there.
Wait. Oh, what this from Dusk Till Donut?
Ooh. Yeah, that's it. That's a jelly donut flavored coffee. And in the coming days, weeks, we are actually going to have. And I say this like we've already set it up, which I know we will. We'll have a representative from Bones Coffee on a live stream with us, but also as their avatar in the world, going through some of the coffees and talking a little bit about, the inspiration for Bones Coffee, like how they came to be, what are some attributes of the flavors? How do they make their coffee? How's it produced? It's really cool stuff. So we'll do a little Q&A.
And not to, we'll definitely bring on some of their team to really talk us about Bones Coffee and how they started and where they want to go. But they have a raffle right now, Pat, that you should enter. I don't know. Bones Coffee Giveaway Bonanza. That sounds pretty promising. I'm just saying.
I'm there.
And if you want to get their latest news, you can, obviously give an email if you'd like. But I really, so for people that want to understand a little bit more about, there's a lot of things going on inside the Block of Horror. One of them is, brand partners that have merch, have coffee, supplies, anything and everything, right? The reason we thought that would be such a cool and important thing is we can bring them together to participate in doing cool new horror things with us, right? So rather than, let's say, a horror brand, create a cool product, it's delicious, it's amazing, and that's just what they do. Well, they like horror too. They like horror movies. They like horror games. They like these types of things. Like, let's bring them into our environment, into the fan experience, because from just talking to the brands we've already been working with, they're interested in participating. And I don't know, maybe someday we may get these brands to want to be a part of a movie experience or an interactive game or something that is meaningfully interesting, new, and exciting with their support. So it's really been an interesting journey thus far to just see how much opportunity there is for like literally people from across the spectrum, businesses, fans, creators, etc., to come together and like, let's go do our own thing. Like, let's go make the things we want to make. Because the cool thing is, a Bones Coffee is an independent coffee brand, right? Like they're not a Walmart like knockoff brand. You know what I'm saying? Like They're like what, from Cape Coral, Florida. They're it's let's say it's a small business, right? Like a family run type business, so to speak. It's not like the big conglomerates all the time. And that's what we really want to platform to as part of the Block of Horror, is finding ways to, give added exposure, added experience to brands that are, kind of like all over the spectrum, small to medium to big. Because we want to support independent businesses too. We don't just want everything to be owned by 3 companies and there's no diversity, there's no interest, and it's just the same thing every time. Like we want fresh ideas, fresh products, fresh brands, and like always trying to platform, those kinds of opportunities. So that's the one thing I've realized through this experience that's been really interesting and really cool, is just how much even brands that you think are, in part selling, they're obviously selling some products, but like they are a part of the horror community. Like they want to be they want to do fun stuff. Like they want to participate. Like that's why they're on the block. Like they wouldn't be on the block if they didn't want to have fun. You know what I mean?
Right. And honestly, like think about this. Like what's a cooler way to showcase a brand than a fresh, new, innovative way of putting your brand in a actual virtual world, where you can tell your audiences, hey, come, we're releasing a new product. Physically come into this store at this time and shop this product in a virtually real location, right? And almost IRL. Back in the olden times, right? Like in the 30s, 40s, 50s, you should be able to get a commercial like for anything, and they say, hey, come down to JCPenney or come down to wherever store it is and shop your store for this item, right? And things have changed, right? Now you just go to a website and you just say, hey, this is available, and you click on a thing, but you lose that kind of fun shopping engagement experience, right? So now just go on there and say, hey, I'm a store, I'm building a store. My brand is offering a unique opportunity with unique sales and discounts and things that engage your customer, right? Engage your customer to do something that requires them to say, hey, like I'm gonna actually like I have to do steps to get here and have a unique experience while I shop for your product, right? And there's nothing like that. There's nothing like an experiential angle for a brand. So I think a lot of brands are gonna love this.
I think they have and had and will. So I agree with you. And again, it is new territory, right? Like it's something different. It's something interesting. But think of the experience. Like we did yesterday, we went into Shadowfield Mall, we went to Vampire Vineyards, we sat on the step by the coffin, and we talked, and we dreamt about having a glass in real life. The immersive side of this is really, to me, a game changer, because if we think about websites, like let's just think about websites. Now, a lot of websites are really cool, they look great, but they're kind of like the cassette player of like music. You know what I mean? Like it's not the vinyl record, right? It's not like early internet days, but it is kind of like the cassette. Well, to me, the virtual world is at minimum, it's like we're at the CD level, right? Like you can go in, you can pick up, in essence, a Bones Coffee bag, and then you can turn it, you can read it, you can see what it almost like feels like before you even buy it. Like that's just a better experience than a website, right? So just that fact alone is where I think brands have been excited to partake in what we've been building here, because it is a better experience. And so, and that's kind of like our mantra across the board, is creating better experiences for everybody, anyone involved, all of our keepers of the block, in perpetuity. So
and stand out from all other brands, because like I'll tell you one thing, no other brand is doing this. I mean, there are other brands doing this because they're on the block right now in our mall or Bones Coffee, but like very little brands are doing this. So it's a key differentiator, and it's a step in a forward direction, right? Because there's no doubt in my mind that like there is a place for a second world, a second life where that's outside of our reality, where we can retreat to and be someone different. Like you can be anyone you want on the block. And I think owning that and not having that judgment of real world, right? You got to go in the real world, you got to dress a certain way, and you kind of think, oh, hey, if I do this, I'm going to be looked at as weird. Now, a lot of people are bold and they'll go out and I don't care and whatever, but like I don't care how much you go out in the real world and try to be bold. Like there's always some degree inside of you of that societal, pressure that you have to look one way or do one thing or whatever. Here doesn't matter. No one knows who you
Halloween,
are.
24/7, 365.
24/7. So you can go in this world, talk to your, fellow horror fans, meet new people, shop these amazing brands in the meantime, and just like have a great time and get immersed in another reality that's outside of yourself, and outside of the mundane world outside. Because let's face it, horror is not exactly generally accepted outside, right? You can't like go around wearing masks 24/7, or like have a butcher knife walking around the streets. People think you're nuts. And honestly, talking about horror to people it's not exactly taboo, but a lot of people that, in my region especially are like, oh, I hate horror movies. They're gross and they're scary. But guess what? On the block of horror, everyone loves horror movies. So you're among your own,
That's a good point. And that's why this kind of communal aspect to Block of Horror I think is so interesting. Is it gives all of our keepers of the block permission to just like let out the creativity, think of our brands, right? We've had a lot of our brands kind of just embrace the creativity, just in, would they create these types of stores in real life? Mm-hmm. Probably not, because to Pat's point, there's a level of, what if the Starbucks next door, they're a little more professional, and I don't know if I can go to the full extent that my creativity wants to go because I got to fit in on the block of Main Street, right? Well, our Main Street is the block of horror. Anything goes. So there are no rules. Like I don't even know how crazy some brands might get. There's a world where the creative that some of our brands want to participate in and an immersive kind of element to experiencing their products. I mean, if you can dream it, we can probably do it. So yeah. But they wouldn't do that, in a shopping mall in real life, like at this point, because again, to Pat's point, it feels risky. Oh, I got to fit in on Main Street where not everyone likes horror. But here we know, if you're here, you know what this is. We've set the expectation. It's the block of horror. So it's basically giving every creator, every brand, every entrepreneur permission to go as far as they want to go. Don't hold back. Show your cards. Show the horror community, show the horror fans, show your consumers. Like, you're in it to win it. You're in it to express, to be a part of the horror experience in as many ways as you can dream up. I've even had brands, Pat. I have a friend of mine, he's an entrepreneur. He's not a horror brand. But when I showed him the virtual world, you know what he told me?
What?
I want one of those stores because I want to have a gamification around my product because I think I can do something that could be horror themed.
Yep.
So now we're bringing literal brands into the horror space to be a part of horror because they see how liberating the opportunity is to to express their own creativity.
It's great. It's great. And you know what? Like, it's so cool to like have your own like store that you wouldn't have normally, right? Like you said, most of the stores in here would never have a staple store because guess what? Out there now, rent is crazy. Like, people are struggling to have storefronts and legit places to go because the overhead is too much. You don't need any overhead, really very little overhead to have a space on Block of Horror. And you reap the rewards of sending your customer to somewhere like Real where they can talk to someone within the store, have customer service, purchase product in there and have that feeling of going shopping at a real staple store. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, and looks like we have a new friend in here. Who is that? Did someone just jump in the Bones Coffee Store with us?
Is there someone in here with us?
Oh, I see what I did. Hold on, let me get into the world.
Is there someone in the store? Did they come from the stream?
Wait, where'd he go? Oh, here he is, right here. Oh, is that? Oh, it's little Mazer. I know who that
Oh, Mazer's here. Mazer.
is. Oh, there. Now I recognize him.
Okay.
See, the avatar changes everything. Who's in the corner here? This is creepy. Who is this? Is this a person? What the heck is this?
Wait,
Look at
what?
this. Do you see this guy in the corner, Pat?
Hold on, I'm looking. Sort of.
What
wait.
the heck is
Oh,
this?
oh,
dude?
that thing that just sat next to you. That weird, like.
Wait, why is he moving? What is this thing? We may have to talk to Mike. Mike may know.
Oh my! No, that's like.
What?
I think that's Spears or he's one of our
Is it?
developers. Yeah, I mean he's like the Grim developer, Reaper developer.
Oh my God, we can't see it. We can't literally. This is spooky because we don't know who he is.
Yeah,
Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's one of our devs. So like, Zach, we've explained this in past streams, but like, we're in a it's Bus, so it's so
okay.
so we're in a very beta version of Block of Horror. We literally launched 4 days ago. So we are constantly just like updating and there's bugs that are being reported. We're building more. So we're very beta right now, and we want to make sure everybody knows that this is not the final version of the block. This is the introductory version of the block.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So Bus has a very special avatar. It looks like that's pretty cool.
He has like special permission.
Oh, there's Bus. See, but now it was his name that was missing. That's why I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
Creepy. Yeah.
And a little Grim Reaper.
Hey, you never know what happens on the block. But they do say what happens on the block stays on the block. I heard about that.
Does it? We will find out about that.
Stays to some extent.
As we live stream from the block every day.
So,
there's Mike. What is Mike? Look at Mike. He looks scary. I'm getting away from him.
Does he have a mask on today?
I think he does. Oh, and by the way, if you're in the block, if you don't know, because again, the cool thing about these live streams is like me and Pat kind of learn something new every day, or we remember something. You can do this kind of like third person view, but you can also do a first person view. So it's a different experience. Like if you come over here, just to show you, you can get a really good look at all these options and get that feeling of like being in a real store and be like, do I want the sweet tater swirl? Am I looking at this one before I click it? So it just gives you, a better experience a little bit to kind of go in, in a first person view. So just a little tidbit for today, in case anyone needed that or forgot.
What other
tutorials
can we give them while we're here outside the theater?
Sneaky Bus. Okay. Sorry, what'd you say, Pat?
What else can we talk about as far as like tutorials while we're out here? What can we tell?
Oh well, we could do. All right.
Well, hasn't gotten on here yet.
Well, the good thing is for anyone who needs a reminder, the little exclamation point has a little welcome to the block tutorial, just kind of reminder. If you get stuck, like how do I do this thing again? WASD, what do we say? Warlocks are so diabolical.
Yes.
If you ever get stuck, hit H. Which, by the way, if you find a bug, go to the Oracle statue near the entrance, near Horror Hounds, and submit the bug. So tell us if you found something.
Please do.
Yes.
So, yes. So there's a lot of different things you kind of can know about the world before you get in here. But the most important thing is to just have fun and play with it and get in here. I think that's the most important lesson is like get on the block of horror because like that's your first step towards, having this experience and getting into the world and like becoming part of the community. All you have to go to blockofhorror.com and you're in the world. You're supposed to enter, press the button and get in here and just have fun, play around, trial and error, walk around the space, like get used to being here. And it's like moving to any new town, right, Zach? It's like, you first get there and things are a little confusing, and you know where you're walking and then eventually, you kind of get comfortable with it and it's like home, becomes like home.
Well, and that's why I like doing these live streams because it gives me an excuse to keep coming back, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is like I look forward to it. It's fun, it's interesting and it's different, and it gets me away from, and I don't know if anyone else feels this, but death scrolling social media, like it's not like I'm not in control, right? Like if you think about what's happening, these algorithms are pushing us to really see things a very specific way. Whether whatever your interests are, whatever the algorithm tags onto you, And even if it was an accident, you click something by accident, all of a sudden you're getting these ads for, you know, I don't know, like one time I think I was commenting about gun violence, and then I started getting ads about buying guns and gun gear, and I'm like, what the heck? I don't want that.
Right.
So, you know, the good thing about the block is it's a little bit more of a curated experience in that, like, you go here, you go where you want to go. Like, you and your friends can literally show up and do whatever you want. Like, there's not this like incessant kind of programming that's happening where you don't want it. Like, you can do things that are, you know, some ads here or there, but like, it doesn't have to be a part of the experience, and it's easy to navigate away from it. So it's really, you choose it. You choose if you want to go to Shadowfield Mall and buy stuff. You choose if you don't. Like, and that's the beauty of the block. Like, it's an alternative to what I personally feel like is that kind of like, I have no control, death scrolling TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, you know, those kinds of things. But that's how they're designed. We're not designed that way. We're designed for you to have more of a in control. You're in the director's seat. You choose the experience. Like, it's up to you. You're a keeper of the block too. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, for sure. But this is all so terrific.
Are we all gonna sit here? I need to sit next to you guys so we can all be. If I can sit there, what am I doing here?
I just love hanging out here. Like, it's just a fun place to like meet, you know, hang with your friends and talk. And, you know, we're all over the world now. I mean, everybody is in one place or another place, or they're just kind of hanging out and they don't want to go out because of COVID or one thing or another thing. And
I've literally never met you, Pat, in person.
No, we've never met like in person. And even at HorrorCon, we never
I wasn't there. I was in Florida.
Yeah. So, you know, this is a chance for us to like get together too, as like-minded individuals, and, you know, come on to Block of Horror.
But Pat, I will say, now I expect you to wear this outfit every time I see you, like in person. If we ever meet in person,
you want me to like wear my suit?
I need you to wear that so I recognize you.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that's Pat. Okay.
Great. I can do that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
It's a great view of you out there.
Yeah.
Cult of Colt. There's Cult of Colt out there.
And we're going to be doing, I think, our first. Well, we got Dark Friday coming up. Zach, tell them a little bit about Dark Day, our Dark Friday event.
Yeah. So Dark Friday, you know, we're fine tuning exactly what that weekend's going to look like, but basically what it's going to be is a bunch of cool things inside the Shadowfield Mall and with our brand partners. You know, obviously a play on Black Friday. So if you like any of the brands or products, there may be some advantages to coming into the block to, I don't know, get cool stuff, new stuff, exclusive stuff. Sky's the limit, like we always say. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna be working through that through the rest of the month. And I think it could be really interesting, innovative, cool, and awesome. So
yeah, it's gonna be great. So we're gonna do some of those, like I said, we said the retrospectives, I guess you want to call them, like retrospectives on stores, like so that the owners can tell us a little bit about their products and what they've got going on.
Yeah.
Is that
fair? So we're gonna look to talk to the brands, you know, in a kind of, I like to compare it to, let's say, like a Hot Ones. Like, let's put them in the hot seat. Like, let's talk to them. Let's talk to them real. Let's talk about the products. Let's talk about the brand. Let's talk about the horror space. Let's talk about what's next. And just kind of have fun with it. And let's play on the block while we do it, right? Mm-hmm. So we can see their stores, we can see their products, what's coming down the pipeline, what we can expect, and show them off and show them off well. Because again, I didn't know until we built this thing. When you talk to people, and I mean this like in every respect, when you talk to people face to face, you really get a sense of like who they are, what they're about, what they want to do, and it just makes you feel better about the things that they're doing that are so amazing. So like, you know, when we talk to the Bones Coffee team, when we talk to any of these brands and the owners and just their team members, mm-hmm. you just gain even more appreciation for their work, right? Because there is immense creativity that goes into building a business too, right? And it's not just a business. Like it's it's a labor of love to begin. It's there's so much passion and inspiration that it takes to even get something to a point of being able to create a business from it. So, you know, the more we personally talk to these brands and we want to bring that to the fans out there, the more I feel like we just get a deeper connection with what they're doing, why they're doing it, and why their products are really cool and kick ass. So that's the plan.
So what do we want to do now? Where do we want to go now?
Oh man, there's so much. Let's go back on the block.
Okay.
Let's go run around a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait, real quick. Let me dance a little bit. You just gotta jump in and do a little dancing for, you know, you never know when.
Everybody's got to dance. Hold on, let me follow. Where the heck are you? I'm gonna dance with you. I'm gonna do a salsa.
Well, and like, I know this is what's hard. So this looks silly from an outsider's view, but Pat, tell me I'm wrong. Just us dancing with our avatars and just screwing around has been like quite fun actually doing it, right?
It's great. I don't have, honestly, these are better moves than I'd ever have in real life. So like I'm relying on my avatar to, you know, to move for me here. I mean, I can do all sorts of crazy moves here. Like I got salsa. I could do the jive. I mean, like I've always wanted to jive. I don't even have to take a class.
Yeah, it's actually teaching me what a jive is. So it's actually like educational.
I don't know what the hell a jive was before this. What else can I dance? What other moves can I do? I could do the shuffle.
Oh wait, here. While we're dancing, you know what we need to do? I'm gonna turn on some music. Hold on a second. Stand by, everybody. Got to add a little. I don't know what we have here, but we're just gonna get loud and be proud. Here we go. All right, dance-a-thon. Here we go, everybody.
Whoa, we got the map of the block. Close map. That's new.
Oh, there we go. Oh, what the hell?
Oh!
I'm in the graveyard?
Oh my god, how did you get to the graveyard?
I don't know. What did I do? Wait, can you click and go somewhere?
Whoa. In fact, you just teleported to me.
Oh, I gotta turn the music down.
Wow, wait. I'm gonna meet you. You literally disappeared from
Dude,
this.
I literally got teleported into the graveyard.
Wait a second. I want to meet you outside.
Dude, I don't even know if can I even get out?
That is bonkers.
Dude, that I mean, look, we are.
You've been like relegated to the graveyard. Like that's creepy.
Dude, I did something wrong. I pissed off the Oracle, and it put me in the graveyard. You don't think this is going to be used as part of a later storyline / adventure that we create at some point? I'm just saying.
You are
everything's possible on the block, guys.
Wow. I'm
in the graveyard. I don't even know how to get out. What do I do? It's like punishment. It's like I pissed off the Oracle.
Whoa! I mean, I didn't even know you could go in there. Oh, here you go.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna try it again. All right. So I went to the map, clicked the wrong button, close map. Okay, but then how did I get to the?
Whoa!
Oracle was.
You're not stuck there because I see you coming out.
Come back to Bones Coffee. Oh, there's you, Pat.
Did you see me? Where are you? Oh, there you are.
Close map.
No, let's go. Let's go. Where do you want to go now? Let's go somewhere new. I'm done with Bones for the time being. Do you want to go into?
Oh my God, that's interesting.
What? Well, you're back in the graveyard.
Yeah, I know what I did.
What did you do?
All right, hit Shift N.
Shift N. I'm in the graveyard.
I got you.
You are so dead. What? Whoa.
So, I don't know. Maybe that's something that we need to know about. I don't know.
That's terrifying. That's really creepy.
So there we go. I don't know what that means. I don't know if the Oracle is doing something, what's happening, but that's something that currently exists. So
wow.
Protect yourself.
That is bonkers.
So now we know.
Holy Lord. Oh my God.
Wait, what I was going to try to do? Oh, wait, you can look at, that's the old stuff.
That's wild.
Okay, let's go. All right. So what are we doing next? I mean, I honestly haven't been in the graveyard, so this was actually perfect because I'm like, oh, okay, there's the graveyard.
Wow.
Ding, ding, ding,
Wow.
ding, ding, ding. You know, we have so many ideas. Oh, there's so much possibility. Can't even talk about it. Sorry, guys.
That's wild.
But you are so dead. What?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like it says you are so dead. Like it takes you to the graveyard. Like banishes you.
I'm depressed. I'm just gonna sit here for a second.
It's a little depressing.
I am so dead. It says. Is there a way to? Can I lay down? Can I lay down?
Wow.
Like Dunzo? You are so dead. Well, because I hit Shift N.
So when you
Let me do it again. Oh, I did it again.
Wow.
Oh, maybe it's like if you get stuck, maybe it can take you to a different place on the block. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Wow.
I actually like that ability. Like if we had some hotkeys that we can like jump to different places, kind of move things along. If you ever want to,
Wow.
I need to get over to the corn cob maze. Let me just hit the hotkey.
That's insane.
Well, we're gonna have to talk to the Oracle about this because I don't know what that means. Oh, look what I found. Oh, come in the church.
Hold on.
Oh, come in the church. Come in the church. Come in the
What's
church.
going on in there?
Come in
Hold
the
on a
church.
second. Hold on.
The cathedral. What do we want to call it?
Wait. I gotta get over there. I gotta get out of the graveyard first. I'm stuck in the cemetery.
Oh God, do I have to help you?
What's going in there? What on in there? Hold on. I'm out. Okay, I'm out. Oh, I see you.
Here.
I see you.
Come here,
I'm
come
coming.
here. Follow me. Come here,
Okay, where are you?
cathedral. There's
Okay, I'm
coffins in
going.
here. I don't know what that means, but it's gonna mean something.
Whoa. Oh, whoa.
And I don't think people understand what like there's so much more that's going to be coming. It's like,
Yeah. See, it's so cool. So if you could see that blood, like the blood projected on the floor where I'm standing in, that is actually
what is that?
It's blood coin. So blood coin, people don't know our world that's we're speaking. You don't know about blood coin yet, but blood coin is going to be our in-world currency. Bury it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a way for folks to buy things, exchange things, earn things on the block, and that's coming eventually.
That sounds interesting.
It's a teaser. It's a setup. What do they call it? A setup?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It looks like it could be important. Is that a blood coin in the case? Oh, I think it is. Oh my God, I don't even know what that means yet. So, and what is this? Blood Tales. A collection of community-fueled short stories. That sounds interesting. I wonder what that's going to be like. Some of our OGs may know, but soon we may do a little update onto what that could mean.
Okay.
And look, there's an empty case. Oh, does that mean more things might be in the pipeline? I don't know.
It could.
I don't know. What is the Oracle planning for us, Pat?
It could mean a lot of things.
Why am I stuck? Okay, here we go. And also, be counted. Complete the survey. So we have these little inscribe your soul, create your nightmare with us. It's a fun little activity. Takes about 3 minutes, Pat. And
Not that.
at the end, there's a very specific choice. This choice is going to inform things that may or may not happen at some point, according to the Oracle on the block, inside the block. So there's a very powerful choice that you can make once you come here and click the inscribe your soul button. So just so everyone knows, come to the church, do your blessings, pray to the coffins.
Oh, I'm in the graveyard again.
Well, I'm going to join you. I'm going to run. I'm going to get out of here.
It's kind of fun here in the graveyard. And the way to get here is you got to go through the church, and then you can be in the back in the church and hang out.
Is there a? I think
you just press shift in. Like you
did the cheat code.
I did the cheat code. I did the "You Are Dead" cheat code.
I see.
And I ended up there.
Oh, what was that? Oh, an alien ship. Dear God, help us. Okay. All right, Pat. What do you think? Should we go? Should we go back to the movie theater?
Yeah, let's pop in the movie theater. Yeah, let's pop in the movie theater.
How far we are? Okay.
We're not that far from the theater, right? So let's pop back in the theater.
Well, if you want to go fast, hit H
and see how the movie's. Yeah,
and then we're back to the theater.
If you want to skip, if you got to go somewhere at the beginning of the block, like the theater, you can always go back there by hitting 8.
Whee!
Now we're going back into the theater. I love these little shortcuts that people will kind of learn as they come in here. And for those folks watching this right now, someone named Jill Sandwich says this is hilarious. I mean, I'm glad. Look at my shirt, my Halloween shirt. Do you like it, Zach?
Wait, hold on, let me see. Sorry, I'm looking at the world. What am I seeing? Oh,
You
look
like
at that. Oh, that's
Isn't that
great.
awesome?
Where'd you get that?
I figured for my Halloween costume, I would wear a dog wearing a Halloween costume.
That's hilarious. Where'd you get it?
I got it from a store called Keel James Patrick. They have some really cool.
Ooh.
First off, my name's in the name of the store. But
That's-
second off, they have some really cool like fall-y sort of, spooky season things to purchase. But I don't know who Jill Sandwich is, but she's like, this is hilarious. I didn't know we were funny. I mean, maybe we're just dorky and we're just funny, but I didn't think
We are back. Wait,
I think
as
this-
in the movie or us?
as in like us, I think, because she's replying to the stream. She
Oh.
says, Jill Sandwich says
Oh.
this is hilarious.
I didn't
So
know. Okay. I don't know if she's talking about us or
the
the
movie
movie.
certainly is kind of B-movie funny, but like I guess we're making her laugh in some way.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, thank you,
That's
Jill.
nice.
I mean, I guess I got to make more jokes or something. I don't know.
I guess so. Well, I'm back in the
There you
theater.
go.
Oh, they're still watching
Oh,
Car-
look at all of our friends hanging out, having fun. Look at this. You can't. I mean.
Oh, I think this is the end of Carnival of Souls.
Oh, let's see how it concludes.
Is it, or is this Brain That Wouldn't Die? I don't even know where we're on. I mean, we're on even a different movie at this point.
Are we on it? No, we can't be on a different movie already. Can
Well, Carnival of Souls
That's-
is very short, and it started at 2:00, so we may be on Brain That
Oh,
Wouldn't.
is this Night of the Living Dead?
No. Night of the Living Dead does not have a scene like this in it, but a movie about a brain that wouldn't die does, because they're in a surgeon's office here.
Wait, I thought that was our third movie.
Oh.
So you're saying, wait,
I guess Mike switched the movies. Maybe he's playing Brain That Wouldn't Die before Night of the Living
before-
Dead. Maybe he's
that would
closing
make
in
more
as
sense.
as the grand finale. I don't know. But I like the fact that like people are actually. Oh, Jill says, "You guys, we're freaking funny. Can you
Dude.
believe that? We are funny."
Jill,
I don't even
Thank
have.
you.
I don't even have. This isn't even scripted, and we're just kind of rambling.
we are rambling. I'm having a beer. Pat's telling me his dark secrets about Halloween. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good time. We're having,
I'm having
a
a
good time.
beer too. I mean, it's like.
Are you having? I can't. And I was being honest yesterday, Pat. Like, I can't get having wine out of my head because
I
we
have
were
a-
sitting in Vampire Vineyards.
48 ounces of beer?
You were a party animal on Halloween. I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
What's your beer of choice? Actually, maybe not. Maybe we don't say the brand.
No, it's not beer.
You know,
It's
they
not
gotta
It's
they gotta come to the block if they want us to tell us.
Yeah.
Show off.
This
the
is
beer.
definitely the brain that wouldn't die. So that we have a little bit of a programming change. But you know what?
Oh,
People
okay.
still stuck around. They're still watching it.
Yeah.
Look at that old. Oh my God! Look at that old car. All these movies are from like the same era, like the 1950s, 60s. You know.
Makes me want to write a movie in this era, like in the style of this era.
Yeah.
Because it feels
Oh.
totally different than movies today. Like it's in a good way. Like it
Such a
feels
great-
like it's taking me on a nice journey, and it's not just trying to like punch me in the face with fast cuts and endless amounts of can you keep up?
Yeah.
Like just give me a story. Like just let me trust that me as a person can just let it slow burn, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like this. Like, okay, we've been in the car now for a while, a couple different shots, get some information. Okay. But yeah, it's like it's okay. It's okay to do that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that foot. Show me the foot pedal go down.
Oh yeah.
Show me the
Look at the
corner turn.
cinematography. Look at this. Look at that shot. Look at that camera mount.
It's underestimated. It's great.
It's great.
The editing's
You know
really
what? The best part about this is like we can chat with others in this theater.
yeah. Let me get
and-
my chat up. Sorry, I was
and
watching the movie.
Shut up. Be like, look at that. Watch this. Look at that
What?
shot.
What's every?
Right.
What's,
So we can
yeah,
like
yeah.
talk to each other about like all the things we love about this movie while it's happening. You can't do that in a regular movie theater. You cannot do that in a regular movie theater. I can't believe there's 50 people watching this stream somewhere. Is that like across all platforms, or is that just on YouTube, or I don't know what it is, but it says
That's a
there's
good question.
we have 50 watchers watching this thing, which is
It
like
says
very-
live viewers 50
You know what's-
on 50 on Twitter.
You know what's the most impressive thing about the fact that we have 50 watchers watching this stream is the fact that we only have 6 people in the theater. So that's that's disappointing to me that everybody's watching us on the stream, entertaining them, but they're not going into the Block of Horror world, which you should be doing simultaneously by going to blockofhorror.com. Blockofhorror.com. Look at the ticker on the bottom, blockofhorror.com. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Go in it. That's such a better experience than watching us schmucks on this live stream.
True. I mean, we're pretty entertaining. I mean,
we are.
Jill
watch
said,
us,
I
watch
trust
us all the same, but
I trust Jill's judgment. She's smarter than us.
I guess so.
She obviously knows more than us. I mean, I would trust her with my life. So I think Jill, I give her all the credit. She knows us best, and she said we are hilarious, and therefore the entertainment we provide is better than classic movies.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm glad to be entertaining. I'm glad that someone's entertained by me.
well, I mean, hey, there's streamers, they do video games, they play the video game. Video game's way more entertaining than them talking about while they play their video game. But for some reason, hey, people like it. And again, I think it's not a choice. I think it's just because we're so accustomed to death scrolling that we're just like, okay, I'll follow my person. I'll just, and it's like, I get it. I do it too. Trust me, I do it too much.
Yeah.
That's why I love what we have here, is because I can go, you know what? I'm done death scrolling today. I'm going to go interact with people in real time at the Block of Horror virtual place.
Yeah.
And then I go and then I do it. And it feels great.
No,
and it feels intentional. It feels meaningful versus, did I accomplish anything for an hour scrolling Twitter? No.
Well, we got another person in the theater as we're talking. So, I mean, there's some.
Join us.
I'm going to walk around the theater.
If you are watching the stream, literally, you type a website, you click enter, and you're there. You're in the block. It's that simple. If you're on a desktop computer, and guess what, guys? There's a phone app. It's coming.
Roland Fias here. Oh, phone app's coming too. Yeah, eventually.
It's coming. So
Choppy's still here.
this is the future.
It's 7 people in this movie theater right now.
That's pretty good.
I mean, for like daytime, viewing.
Well,
I mean, there's more people than probably in my AMC right now, to tell you the honest truth.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's not about, like, it is what it is. Like, the great thing about this virtual world too is you can enjoy it from afar. Like you can, because people can socialize through it. Just us sharing what we showed with the Bones Coffee store, like us showing that on social media is a better experience of Bones Coffee's stuff than their website, right? Like just functionally speaking. Yeah. So just having that is like, it's like a mini immersive ad just by showcasing what the virtual world is. So
right.
There's basically like no way that this is bad. Like it's all good. And again, that's why I said yesterday, anybody who's a horror fan, anybody who vibes with what this can be, like this is your guys' thing too now. Like it's public, it's live, it's free. There's nothing stopping anyone from literally doing what we're doing. Like what? Hopping on live streams, having fun, talking about the latest thing on the block, like just doing cool, fun things that no one else is doing because the block just launched last weekend. Yeah. So like it's new territory. So if you want to do something cool and new and interesting in the horror community, hello, here's your opportunity.
Come on down.
Don't be shy.
What did he used to say, Bob Barker? Come on down.
Come on down. Well, I think that was who was the voice.
Oh yeah. That's what we want you to do. But like honestly, there's no barrier for entry here. Just come in. Come in.
Join us. Join us at the Block of Horror.
Yeah. Yep.
And this looks pretty good on stream. I mean, like, depending which platform people are watching from, feel free to comment if you guys have any. Oh, this looks great on Twitter. It looks really good on Instagram. It looks, YouTube. Ultimately, a big part of our ethos too is constant feedback. So go to the Discord, open a ticket. You can, email us at info@blockofhorror.com. You can, submit a bug or what have you through the world. Like ultimately, we truly believe this is our collective experience, our curated experience. So if there's something that's not quite right, if there's something that we need to fix, if there's something that we wish we could have, tell us, talk to us about it. Like, I plan to have at some point, I'm going to have open submissions, like where I'll have a schedule where I'll show up at the block. Anybody can show up and talk to me. Anybody.
Right.
Which, well, who are you? I don't know. Like, people tell me I'm supposed to make decisions. So, tell me what you think, and let's go over it. Let's go over it in detail, like anything, so I'm all ears. Like my job is not to just be in charge of a company. My job is also to connect with the community and to listen to people, to hear them out, to respect their position. And even if we disagree, I have no problem respecting people, even if I disagree with them. It's okay. Like, we all have the same heartbeat. We all have the same spirit. We all have the same blood in our veins. Like, there's no ego in the block of horror. This is all about how we can do this together. So,
right.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to use your voice, use your power. Make suggestions. Ideas you have, like whatever you think that this could be. We want to hear it. We want to embrace it. Especially if it's good for the entire, the block and keepers. Mm-hmm. We're about it.
Yeah, we're all about it. We're going to be in the coming months, like we're going to grow so substantially as a community. And, we only grow when the community comes together and gets behind us and rallies and becomes part of the world, becomes part of the town, right? Like, if we were to literally drop a new town on the map, right? I was looking for land, right? This is a great example. Last year, I was like on this land search to purchase land, across the country in different places. I just wanted land. By the way, I have land, about, I'd say a 5-minute drive from the original Evil Dead cabin in Morristown, Tennessee, because I'm that obsessed with it. But anyway,
hilarious.
On this land, there's so much land all over the country, right? There are swaths of like hundreds of acres of land that you can purchase and truly build a new community and a new town on that land, right? But if I were to do that and I were to buy 150 acres of land somewhere, right, in real life, it would take some time to foster that community, get people to come, join the community, find people to live there, get a mayor on board, town hall, all of that stuff, right? That's essentially what we've done here. We've built it, and now we're fostering that community to come join us, to be part of us, part of the block. That's the name of our town, like the block of.
It's actually excellent that you put it that way, because I've done a lot of research recently about communities and eco villages and that type of thing, and it's kind of exactly what you said. If you're going to do that in real life, it's an immense challenge. It takes so much resources, so many connections, convincing people that it's a good idea to begin with, right? Like there's so many barriers to entry for everybody, including the people who really want to do it. That this kind of is easy. It's a click. Literally, it's I click, I hit enter, and I'm there, and that's it. And then from there, it's whatever we want it to be. Yeah. So it's perfect if you're interested in that communal kind of next generation feel. That's what we're doing. So.
It really is. Yeah. If that's a great way to put it. I mean, if you are into being at the forefront, like the actual conception of something revolutionary in terms of community, obviously horror, but also sort of in a nomadic way, like a utopia, right? A chance to found something and be on the forefront of a new civilization, virtual civilization. This is it. There is nothing like this right now. And we are the first of its kind. And we will probably be the only of its kind. That's why we wanted to get this done quickly. This idea came to us a little over a year ago, and we knew that we had to be first to market and be the first people to get this out there into the world. And we did it. And guess what? There might be some bugs. There might not be, all the attractions yet that need to be there. We may be Disneyland day one, where one Pirates of the Caribbean was open and that's it. But like we got it done and it's here for you. And the promise of the future of it, as you can come in here and you look around, is bright. Not bright because it's always dark on the block, but you know, the future is grand, and it's going to be so exciting to see this community build. And we'd love you to be one of the first adopters, because guess what? When there's like 200, 300 people plus thousands of people in here, you know, some people will get lost in the shuffle and it'll just be like one big community. But you guys, your original OGs, will always remember you, get to know us, meet us, say hi to us, the founders, and we're going to take you under our wing, and we're going to make it great for you. We're going to give you private tours. So get on here, blockofhorror.com. Get in here with us.
Yeah, and again, I honestly think as we continue to showcase everything that this is and will and can be, it'll be so obvious. It's just going to be, I think Block of Horror is going to be synonymous with the biggest names in horror. That like, if you're not on the Block of Horror, if you're not in the world, if you don't know what it is, like, then you're not really like, you don't, then you've been in a coma, right?
Yeah.
Like, inevitably, it's just going to be something that's just part of our fabric of our social experience in the horror community, that I think is going to be a good thing. Because again, one of the things that we haven't even really talked about, because it's a little bit of fine tuning exactly how we get there, is we have a whole new opportunity through how we've designed what the Block of Horror is strategizing to do, to open up the Pandora's box of supporting creators from all levels, especially independent creators, to create, right? Like as a community, with our brands, with the fans, and with other creators. You know, for instance, we for our Blocktoberfest Film Festival, I don't think people really understand this. We did $0 submissions. Well, what does that mean? It means none of the filmmakers spent a penny on our film festival submission. Okay, that's some film festivals do that. That's great. We would love to never charge our filmmakers submitting to our festivals. Mm-hmm. Yet we were able to get sponsorships for 4 category winners that we're going to have at the end of the Dark Friday weekend. We're going to announce the winners from Blocktoberfest and do another screening. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have 4 filmmakers get a cash prize for winning their category from Blocktoberfest. And that was without any submission of any kind of payment. So now imagine that at scale, right? That's where my brain goes. I'm a creator first. That's where I come from. I want this platform, I want the Block of Horror to be a place where creators, independent creators, can come to us, can be a part of what we're doing, and that there is meaningful opportunity for them to at least cover the cost of the creative work and what they've done. Right? Like if you could do a short and know, Pat, you have a great chance of getting the cost back of what it cost you to do that.
Yeah.
Isn't that like game changing for independent artists and creators to just go, man, even like 10, like let's say 5K, 10K for a short I did. Like if I knew I could get 10K back, man, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep creating. I'm gonna keep pushing myself, right? So that's the ultimate goal with our creators is to really find a way to, make sure that there's value for them when they create things. And by bringing people together, I think we can do that. And we've already seen that happen in our infancy of Blocktoberfest. So I think the sky's the limit. It can really scale into a meaningful, hey, you want to submit something? Well, I mean, Block of Horror is the first place you should try, because you have a real chance of getting payment back for the cost of what it costs money to make stuff sometimes. So we want to make sure filmmakers can afford to keep making stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Do a 360 of this beautiful theater we created that you can house your films in. It's just, it's a beautiful theater. And, look at that. It's like your dream theater, and there's the audience, and look how cool that is. So you can see everyone that's in with you. So if you get your friends and you're like, hey, meet me on the Block of Horror. We're going to watch The Brain That Wouldn't Die at 8 o'clock tonight. I just heard they're screening it in the screening room. You can see your friends in here, and you can all hang out and know you're watching it together. And that's a really special thing. And you can meet others in here and chat with the chat function. And, and how about this? So, Zach, let's head back out to the lobby and we can have like a little conversation. I know DZ is in here too. He just came in. DZ is one of our team members here. I'm going to sit at the, have a seat on one of these stools. And
Can you sit there? Can you sit there properly?
I'm going to
I
sit.
had issues earlier.
Yeah, I just sat in the one on the right. So you can sit on the counter if you want.
Yeah, maybe the counter's better. There we go.
So now we're hanging out here in the lobby, but let's talk a little bit, Zach. We haven't really hit on this a whole lot because a big part of this whole community is our quests, right? Like our ways to engage, not just with the content of the block, because we've on this particular live stream, we talked about the content, or I hate to call it content, but like the entertainment of the block, which is movie screenings, in various ways that you can watch and absorb entertainment on the block. And we also talked about commerce. So we went into Bones Coffee Shop. And we talked about how to buy, Bones coffee, and that you can purchase things all around the Block of Horror. Obviously we have a shopping mall with a ton of stores you can go in there that we showed yesterday. But another angle here is actually interacting with the block itself as a narrative story platform. And we don't have this yet because it's just a beta, but you'll be able to, in a very like Robloxy way, participate in quests with your friends on Block of Horror. So you can say, hey, I got a group of 4 friends and we're going to do the Seance Challenge, right? Where you come on to the Block of Horror and you have to go all around the Block of Horror collecting all of these different items in different places that you find, and then come back to the cemetery and hold a seance to resurrect a demon, right? So that's really exciting, that this is also going to turn into an engaging, gamified community platform from a narrative angle where the block itself becomes a storytelling element, in more ways than one.
So, and you hit the nail on the head. It's, questing is fun unto itself, but the opportunity we have with the block and the Block of Horror is questing with friends, right? Questing with acquaintances. Like, there's a world where not everyone has 4 friends that are going to hop on the block. So maybe we can just like tag people that are already here, right? So, and video games have really kind of perfected that model to a degree.
Right.
I think that's kind of where this proof of concept comes from, right? It's a video game, let's say, world, but it's not necessarily a video game. Like it's just a virtual immersion. It's a social immersion. And that's what video games get right, where social media, in my opinion, doesn't. The social immersion is the best experience of any social media experience. So that's what the block can really solve for.
Right.
Is, like we talked about earlier, is the ability for us to meet new people, connect with them, but in a more meaningful way, and then do activities with them. Like, hey, we got to solve this puzzle. Hey, we got to go, find our way out of the corncob maze. Or, hey, you got the leaderboard score. I want to get the leaderboard score. Like, let's compete. Like, there's all kinds of things we have planned and we want to do. And it's just another element that the block's really going to lean into. And I think once people start to experience it, it'll kind of be an obvious, like, oh, that's actually really fun. Like, I'm not a gamer, but like I'm playing a game. And it's like, because the game is not the most important thing. It's the social interaction that's built into the game that's actually the most meaningful element to it. Right. That's partly why games like World of Warcraft were so revolutionary. Is yes, it was an expansive world, but what it was you could have immersive social connection with your friends, like in a video game. So that was different than in the past. Before, it's like, oh, me and my 3 friends, let's say like StarCraft or, RPG games. But with this like huge open world, it was like, oh man, I like literally can create a faction of like 50 people. And like we're all best friends, helping, supporting each other while we play this game, doing different things, trading stuff, all that kind of stuff. So that's where a lot of this is going to be headed to, is that kind of like questing, gamifications, but not like just for a game's sake. It's more for like social interaction. It's more for like making friends and
Right.
building better relationships. So,
Well, you bring up a good point. It's like, when we showed this to folks, like initially, when they first saw it, they're like, "Oh, it's a video game. It's just a video game." But it's not at all a video game. That's the thing about it. It may look graphically like a video game, and the way you control your character is similar to a video game, but it couldn't be further away from a video game in how it functions and all of the different pillars that make up what it is and what the objectives of it are. It's not a video game. It's a world. It's a community, right? It's an ideology just as much as everything else. So when you come onto blockofhorror.com, you hit that button to say enter world, right? You are entering into a society of like-minded individuals where you belong, right? And it's not a game. It becomes more than, it becomes an extension of your own world, right? And your own, like what you see here and touch here, right? Like when in this room, the counter space, the ceiling, the walls in front of you, it becomes an extension of your world that you can spend, time in when at your leisure, whenever you'd like to, where you could say, hey, I don't just have the real world anymore. I don't just have this world and what's out in the real world. And I have another world I can retreat to where there's whole other possibilities and things, again, like you said before, that you can only dream of, right? That's really what's so exciting about this is it's an extension. It's almost like, it's not like a better world, but it is in a way, to some extent, a better version of reality, right? It's a better version. It's like, if you compare it to Ready Player One, right? Like, what was that movie about? It's the ability to retreat into a world that is better. It expands the limits of your current world and your current mind and what it is, right?
Well, and because, like we talked about a little bit earlier, I think it's liberating, right? Like it's empowering, because remember, and this is kind of my philosophical backbone. I am like hugely against forms of authoritarianism in like all aspects. And so the opportunity that we have with these kind of like virtual immersions and worlds is to remove a lot of those societal authoritarian type pain points. And Ready Player One kind of showcases that, right?
Yeah.
And welcome the user's ability to like dream the impossible dream, be who you want to be without judgment, like go to places that are forbidden. Like there are kind of like no rules, though there are like guidelines and, don't be a complete piece of crap. But like in society, and especially as technology advances, it allows for authoritarianism to be easier to implement. And the virtual world allows us to potentially escape into a place where it's not so heavy. It's not so, it's more liberating, which creates a kind of balance, right?
Right.
So obviously I could go deep into this topic, probably not the right place right now to do it, but
Gotcha.
But the virtual world is a place where it's about empowering. It's about letting anybody who hops in the world to really kind of create the experience they want to have. It reminds me, some of my inspiration comes from, in general, Sleep No More in New York City, the Broadway or off-Broadway show that is about the immersive experience of going through the story of Macbeth and putting on a mask, and like you decide what type of story experience you have.
Right.
And so it's really about your own self-fulfillment, your own self-empowerment, your own experience. And there is stuff going on, like you can go just watch certain things and follow a storyline, all that, but you also get to choose.
Right.
And so I think that's also important, because in a society when it feels like, Mark Ruffalo said this on a stream recently, he said it feels so suffocating right now because of social media that people, like, he was speaking from his experience, but like, I can't really say what I want to say. Like, I can't really be who I want to be because I'm under a microscope. If I say the wrong thing, if I do the wrong thing, if I don't quite, position myself to everyone's liking, I risk being discarded, or I risk being not accepted. Well, the block and these virtual environments allow for that to kind of like go away.
Yeah.
You can be whoever you want to be. Like, you can just experience what you want to experience with your friends. Like, there's not nearly as much judgment. There's not nearly as much gatekeeping. It's much more open-ended in a sense. So, so it's filling a need, in my opinion, from a social kind of community interaction perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this definitely fills a need, because I do think horror fans can never get enough horror, and that's just plain and simple. We consume it, we buy it, we purchase horror items, we live it, we breathe it, right? That's what we are. We're horror fans, and that's just how it is, and we'll never change. It's always how it will be.
And something horror fans, I think, are going to discover through what we're doing here is being able to, as we grow Block of Horror, having virtual representations of the things that they already like and like to collect, creates a kind of like social cachet, like not in a bad way, but just like Aaron. Like, when I see Aaron stream, he's got so many cool things. I have no idea like what, I can't even see them. There's so many, like, but if there was a digital representation of those things in Aaron's part of Block of Horror, let's say we get to that point, or in some way I could click Aaron and see his like digital version of those things, I could like be like, oh wow, Aaron's got that thing from Freddy Krueger movie that I love, or oh, he's got that cool collectible that Funko's just created. Like, oh, like, I can actually see what he has in real life and then go, hey Aaron, where did you get the thing that, like, do you have the real collectible too? Yeah, dude, I got that. Oh, how did you get it? Oh, so like, but like right now, I can't do that. Like, I don't know what Aaron has in his house. Like, I don't, unless he talks about it directly. And even then it's like, well, then I have to start a whole conversation. But like, these digital collectibles allow a way for us to actually like truly represent in a public global way, like our fandom and what we have and what's, how deep our fandom goes for certain things.
I just put up Jill's comment.
Jill Sandwich.
It's hilarious.
I love her name.
I just want to keep showing that. This is hilarious. She loves it. Thanks, Jill. Love you.
So it's again, the possibilities are endless, and again, it is new territory, so it's going to take time for people to get familiar. But that's what we're here to do. That's why we're going to do live streams. We'll keep talking to people. If you have questions, if you want to see different types of things, again, I don't think people understand fundamentally what Lab Rat did in the movie theater and how transformative it is for the user experience for an entirely new type of content experience. So basically, like, do you like cool movies and cool new ways? Like, holy shit, this is it. Like, this is like the next thing that I think is just going to explode, not just through us, but we're definitely going to be a part of it. So,
yeah. So much to talk about. I mean, we haven't even scratched. Honestly, we've been talking for a while. We haven't even scratched the surface of things that this is capable of doing, and that will be able to be experienced here on Block of Horror. One of which I think this is really cool. So we've been having some great discussions with auction houses, because like there's this world where they're auctioning off these like amazing iconic props from horror movies and costumes and everything.
That's cool.
And we have the ability in Block of Horror to do a live, to integrate the horror auction into the theater and into the areas of the block, which is super cool. So we are going to host, hopefully coming up. They have an auction coming up, I think, at the end of November near our Dark Friday, let's talk about Dark Friday again in a second. But our Dark Friday festivities, we may very well see we may very well auction off like iconic horror props and wardrobe in Block of Horror, like items from Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and these big horror movies. How cool is that to be able to come in the theater and be able to bid on like iconic horror
Oh,
memorabilia?
it's
awesome.
huge. It's huge because, and also like being able to do it in a frictionless way, like in a way that's like I just click on my computer or on my phone, right? Those type of interactions are what everyone wants anyways, and that's what we're going to be gearing towards. So it's huge. I think it's huge.
Yeah.
And there's kind of like a social like not necessarily just peer pressure, but like there's like a social camaraderie around doing it, right? Like it's not just like I'm on my own little channel, my own little social media, and like no one can see me. It's like, you know, it's kind of like a fun activity to do it with people.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I think again, it's just, we're going to keep getting the word out about this thing. It's completely revolutionary. Let me go back and just top level this once more for everybody watching this thing, because there seems to be a good amount of people watching this now and growing. This is Block of Horror. Block of Horror is the most revolutionary, immersive, virtual horror world ever created. I mean, I can't believe I'm even saying that this even exists. This does not exist anywhere else right now. This is the place, blockofhorror.com. Come on here right now. Go to blockofhorror.com, click enter the world, load it up in any desktop browser, any browser except for Safari, because Safari sucks, and go on to blockofhorror.com and go into this world and live a different world, a different reality from yourself in this immersive horror world we've built for the horror community, for you guys, for us. I mean, honestly, we built this for us because, to tell you the honest truth, we saw that there was no place for us to go to meet like-minded horror fans and people to make friends with. We didn't have a place to do that. We also didn't want to search around, you know, the internet for 5-10 hours or plus to find, you know, a horror soap or a new horror item. We wanted to aggregate some incredible horror merchandise for the world in one place, which is why we created the Shadowfield Mall, which is down the street from the theater here. And it's a place where you can go in and shop your favorite horror items and discover new ones. We wanted to aggregate the entire horror sphere into here. You're going to see all the big players in here in the coming weeks. You're going to see them come in here, and you're going to say, "Hey, I remember those guys talking about this virtual horror world. It's grown, right?" We're going to have the big wigs in here. I can't say names, and I can't make promises, but I will say that we will grow substantially, and the name brands you know and love, the films you know and love, that merchandise, all going to come in here. And for right now, while you come in here, you're going to discover new brands and new IP, new intellectual property that myself and my co-creative partner, Aaron McLean, created. If you go across the street from the theater, you've got Horror Hound Video Store. Let's go to Horror Hounds really quick. What do you say? We're gonna talk to you a little bit about, while we're waiting on that IP, like the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff. We actually created unique original IP from our production company, Primordial Pictures. We have someone had a comment. Let's see. Would be awesome if we could craft items that can exist in the block from a UGC perspective. And you want to answer to that? This is the question of the moment, Zach. Would be awesome if we could craft items that can exist in the block from a UGC perspective, user-generated content perspective. Talk a little bit about that, Zach. How could we maybe do that while we're waiting for this to load, while we're waiting to go to Horror Hound's video store to check out original IP?
Yeah, so, you know, that's the dream, right? So how I want to position everything is like, if we can dream it, there's a world we're going to be able to do it. It's a matter of development time, energy, all that stuff, right? So yes, the plan is to make the Block of Horror literally our home away from home, right? Like when you wake up in the morning, why go anywhere else? Like the idea is that feeling in the pit of your stomach. I don't need to go anywhere else. I literally just click here, boom, I'm there. And oh, there's my news. Oh, there's my thing. Oh, there are my friends. Hey guys, how you guys doing this morning? Oh, like, oh, and like I'm already having a better experience than, and again, it's important because it's a curated experience. So, for instance, if I wake up in the morning and I hop on, let's say, a social media platform, I don't want to name any, I'm not trying to like badmouth anybody. You know, I'm not really getting my experience. I'm getting like what they're trying to push on me experience. And it's a lot of, like I said before, algorithm driven stuff that's just like I don't want to wake up to that. Like I want to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and when I'm doing it.
Right.
And the block of horror is going to allow you to do that. It's going to allow you to like inevitably you choose the experience. Like this is your Sleep No More in the virtual world. If you don't want to go up to the third floor, you never have to go up to the third floor.
Yeah.
You don't want to go watch movies, you know, the latest big movie that we have an exclusive access to in the movie theater. You don't have to go in there. You can literally just go play the games that are super cool too. Like there is no like, you got to do this thing before you do that. Like, it's just like, well, go do what you want to do. And that's why we're attacking things from so many different angles is because we literally want it to be a place where you choose. I choose, because again, it goes back to my personal ethos too of like independence. Like, and I think the horror community identifies with this so well. Is like, no one's going to tell you how to dress. No one's going to tell you what to like. No one's going to tell you what your favorite horror movie is. Like, and we're not going to do it either. We're just going to create the platform. We're going to create the environment. We're going to create an opportunity for us all to basically like, can we do this? Yeah, you can. And I'm going to do something else. And I'm going to do this with you tomorrow. And anything's possible. So basically, long answer to say, in the long run, yes. Like, we have every intention of scaling, growing, and doing things in a way that you'll never want to leave. Like,
and talk about places you never want to leave. I mean, those of a certain age, right? Like myself, I'm not going to say how old I am. I'll let you all guess. But I will say I'm old enough to remember video stores, and not just video stores to rent movies at that are DVDs, but video stores to rent VHS tapes. That's how kind of old I am. I know I don't look it. I know I look younger than my years, but I remember VHS tapes. And where we are right now is a place that we've created, myself and my co-creator, Aaron McLean. We have created a video store from our childhood, a video store we remember going to and scanning the shelves of, and specifically what we wish a video store would be, which is like, all right, no romance section, no, wall of Titanic double cassette VHSs all over the place. We wanted our video store to be the entire horror section, but the entire video store. So what we've done is we've created, while again, we're waiting for those, those Jasons, those Freddys, those bigger horror series, we've created over 65 pieces of original IP, intellectual property and content and films in this video store that you can pick up, go on the shelves, scan, flip around, read the back of the box up. These are real movies. They haven't been made yet. But our intention is to make these into films with your help. We'll kind of upvote things and see how they do and see what you guys like. But there is a high chance of seeing these become movies down the line through our production company, Primordial Pictures. But in the meantime, scan the shelves, pick up the VHSs, spend some time here. There's people who've spent 2-3 hours here just looking at videotapes and just imagining how cool this would be as a feature-length film. Come in here, check out the videos, check out the posters on the walls. And, another cool thing about this is Death Squad. Okay.
What is this? This is hilarious.
There was a movie called Death Spa, which is about similar style to this. And we're taking little variations of the movies we loved, those kind of fun horror movies, and we're kind of putting that slant on them. And we're putting movies in here we'd love to make and love to see. And we think, the horror sphere would love to make and see as well. But that being said, this is not just to make the films from, but you'll see when you look at some of these VHSs, and there is one, Zach, if you go to the first shelf, follow me, turn around a little bit. And do you see me standing here? Go over here where I'm standing. All right.
I haven't even gone here yet. Oh
Yeah,
God,
click,
there's so
click
much to
on this,
see.
click on this, the VHS in front of you. That one, there's a couple of VHS here. I think it's in this section. Oh, it's on the right. It's the third shelf up on the right-hand side, third shelf from the bottom. Click on that VHS right there. Third shelf
there it
from the
is.
bottom up on the right-hand side.
Undead Arrival.
It is Undead on Arrival. This is
You
a
have
film
this in here.
This is a film that has a feature-length screenplay written by Mediate McLean, myself and my co-creative partner. And you can read the back of it. It's about 2 ambulance drivers that get in an accident, and the patient in the back they've just picked up is actually undead, and they're stuck in the ambulance trying to fend against the undead in the back of the. And it's a lot of fun. And we are currently shopping it around all over the place, but if you were to go out onto the block right now and search around a little bit, you will find a scene from Undead on Arrival that you could immerse yourself in. The ambulance is overturned and flipped over. Hey, Zach, let's go over there. And now that I've kind of amplified that.
You've completely...
Yeah.
This is like a Halloween surprise. I didn't know you were going to go... This is like...
This is a big Halloween.
This is alpha. Like, for people who know what alpha is, this is alpha.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I haven't even seen this, dude.
I'm going to take, so this is the film, right? And I'm going to show you how cool this is to integrate with our world. So you come in here, you look through the videotapes, you see some cool videotapes, Undead on Arrival, flipped over ambulance, zombies, all that fun stuff. After this, though, after this Halloween surprise, I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and Zach's going to be on kind of solo, showing you around. We may go back into the theater, but I got to take a little bit of a break because it is Halloween, and I got candy to eat, I got trick-or-treating to do, and I got things to do. But Zach will stay on for a little bit at around 4:30, right, Zach? You'll hang for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit.
He'll hang and talk to you a little bit more about the block. I will have to bow out a little bit. Maybe we'll have a special guest, someone else he can drag on the stream. But let me show you this before I have to leave in the 10 minutes I have left here. So
this is huge. People don't understand. Pat is giving us
this is huge.
The goods. This is amazing.
Huge. This is huge right now. So follow me. Follow me. This is
wow.
we're gonna take a trip down the block a bit, and I'm gonna show you just how cool this is. Now keep Undead on Arrival, keep those themes, keep those characters in mind, right? We're gonna take a little walk. We're gonna take a little walk.
Are you looking at the map? Do you know where you're going?
I don't know where the hell I'm going, but we're gonna take a walk. I'm gonna find it. Yeah, I kind of.
We haven't even done Corn Cob Man yet.
I kind of know where I'm going. It's down here.
There's a whole experience here, guys. By the way, if you don't know, it's called the Corn Cob Maze. Like we haven't even done a stream about that yet. That's coming up.
I'm gonna find this. Hold on. Here it is. It's
over there.
Hold on. Let me click the map. Give me a second.
I love how you let me wear this mask the entire stream.
Yeah. Twilight Acres.
Wait, where
Whispering Woods. Oh no, it's in Whispering Woods. I'm going the wrong way.
Oh shoot.
I'm going the wrong way. It's in Whispering Woods. It's back this way.
Oh, this way. Okay.
So yeah. I went the wrong way. Even I get lost here, and I've been in the community for a while. And
well, and not to put us back into COVID PTSD, but like I really think the people who handled COVID the best were people that were already familiar with virtual environments and I wasn't. I wish I kind of was involved in like a big gaming community, right? Yeah. Like something that you could really meaningfully connect with people and do interesting things and not feel like life was as bad as it was for some people.
Right.
So this kind of becomes like pandemic proof. So
look at this. Look at this. So now that you're coming upon this, now you've entered Whispering Woods. You've seen the VHS tape of Undead on Arrival in the video store. You've read the back of the box. You know what's going on. There's a zombie in the back of the ambulance. They're trying to escape. Check this out, guys. Live on the block. The scene is unfolding. This is Undead on Arrival, guys. It's manifested itself onto the block, straight off the back of the videotape box into your screen here. We got all this stuff going on here. Look at this. Go first person and see. There's a guy crawling around with no legs. His entrails are filled. The back of the ambulance, they've escaped the back, and they're fending against this fire zombie that's throwing shit at them. There's a skeleton on the there's a skeleton on the tree over here. There's a guy on the rock dead. I mean, this is crazy. This is what I'm talking about. this is the new, like the new wave of interactivity with narrative storytelling. It shows up in the video store. Now it's on the block. It's something you can experience. And guess what? We fully intend to make this an experience, a game of some sort as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fight the zombie off. I don't know what it is yet, but we're developing it as we go. But for now, you can kind of see the possibilities here that jump off the back of the box right into the world. And that's an element that we're talking about with that storytelling component, right, Zach?
Well, and inevitably, what's cool too is kind of like tying things together. So as this story unfolds, and then tying it into potentially other stories on the block or within Primordial. So that's another cool element is, kind of like the Universal monster world, so to speak. Like there's a world where all of this really synergizes and aligns, and we get cross-pollination of like a main character in story A finds its way into story X, and you have no idea it's coming, but it makes total sense, and we all want it. Like that cool final girl that survives. Like, why can't we put her in another movie too? Like, why is she just there? Like, let's get her in something else, right? Like, or surprise villains that cross-pollinate into other stories and stuff. So
right.
By creating this kind of like virtual universe, it allows us to already start the story before there's, let's say, movies and games and different types of things. Yeah. So we can really just start building the story now.
Yep.
And then also expanding it into other types of experiences.
Yeah, become a fan of the property, of the IP while you're on Block of Horror. And then how cool would it be to live it and then gain that traction of what that narrative is. And then eventually, get the experience of watching it as a film, and if you love it. And we want the audience, the community's help too, going through the tapes, going through the video store and telling us like, what do you want to see? Right. We're going to have, I think, Zach, we should put a voting thing in the video store where they can click and pick their favorite VHS tapes. Right. And then we'll get a ledger back and figure out which ones are like the community pick of the weeks. Right. And then we can highlight those and see what's gaining traction. And then, let you guys, the community, build out what you want to see on the block, what resonates with you in the video store. So, I say right now, go to the Horror Hounds Media Vault, head to blockofhorror.com. Okay. Make a right, go into Horror Hounds Video Store, check out all the tapes, spend some hours there looking at them. And then write down, privately which ones you love the best as you see them. And then we'll eventually have a little voting thing pop up there, and you can, put your picks, your the community picks of what film you've seen.
And that's part of the ethos we want here too. Is we started Block of Horror. We always dreamed of a virtual environment, but we started with the initial idea of let's make the movie the fans want to make.
Yeah.
Right. Like let's get the fans involved from day one. Yeah. And with Primordial's ideas and concepts and scripts, like we can we're gonna do that again. And exactly what Pat's talking about, we'll start to build up opportunities for everybody to tell us which one do you actually want to be next? Because Pat and Aaron, like, they will write it, like they will go do it. We will find a way to go produce it and make it. And that's like so empowering to be like, oh, do you want this vampire movie? Do you want this classic 70s slasher? Do you want this like, I don't know. What do you want? Like, let's actually talk about it.
We're not precious. Everybody's like, oh, let's hide our ideas and hide this now. We're not precious. We're not hiding anything. Primordial Pictures is throwing all of their IP out there, more to come. So we don't care. We want you to see what we've got in development we're working on, and we want to know what resonates with you. So come in the video store, check it out. Our entire development slate at our production company is on full display at Horror Hounds Media Vault.
And real quick, credit to Pat and Aaron. Like, from my experience in Hollywood, no one does that. Nobody does that because, again, there's this kind of antiquated, in my opinion, view on IP and that type of stuff. Like, there's a level of like, there is no IP if there's no fandom. Like nothing exists if we collectively don't want it to be there, right? Like, if no one's going to watch that thing, then no one's going to care about the thing. So by Pat and Aaron leaning into this, like, I think it's brilliant. I think it's like super where everything's headed anyways. but it's believing in themselves and like saying like no one's gonna tell this story about what I know this story is about that Pat's been talking about better than Aaron and Pat because it's their story. Right. Now anybody could rip something off, but like it's not going to be authentic. Like right. It's not coming from a place of like true passion and inspiration, right. and like only Pat and Aaron can do what this story is supposed to do. Yeah. So like,
and we will.
I love it.
And we will. And it was, you know what, Zach, I got to run on Halloween. Like I said, I got trick-or-treating to do. I got candy to eat. I got, nephews to take out. So I am going to say farewell to this stream. It's been a great couple hours with all of you. It's been great talking to you about Block of Horror. You're going to see more of me. We're going to talk much more about Block of Horror. And it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'm going to bow out of the world right now, but I'll be back later tonight. If anybody wants to come, blockofhorror.com, meet me. I'll give you a private Halloween night tour.
Oh, wow.
So after 8:00 tonight, come back. I'll be standing at the front of Block of Horror, waiting for folks to give tours. Come say hi to me, talk to me. And I'll be here Halloween night into the night. So say hello. But in the meantime, go check out also in the theater. Go to blockofhorror.com right now. Night of the Living Dead's probably getting ready to start. And I'll leave it to you, Zach, to wrap this up, talk a little bit more about whatever you want to talk about, and then we'll catch up down the line. But come see me tonight on Block of Horror after 8:00, and we'll say hi to each other.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll probably be in bed in Germany, but yeah, for anybody who's not, if you're in the U.S., you should come join Pat, hang out.
Yeah.
Pat's great, obviously. So. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the theater, Pat. So feel free, you can hop off, and I'll kick the tires a little bit, and then
bye guys, bye Zach,
bye. Thanks, Pat. All right, is Pat gone? Did he leave me? Am I by myself? No. Okay, I'm by myself. So guess what? There's no rules. We get to break stuff. Let's go break stuff. Go. Ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding, diddle, ding. Hit the right button, Zach. There you go. Now go fast. Run. Oh, first person. Here we go. Now I'm first person. I'm speeding around. I'm going to go everywhere I want to go because now this is my world. Nobody can tell me what to do. Not Pat. Nobody. Not Mike. Nobody. It's my world. What is this? Corncob maze? What does this mean? I don't know. But, I can do a game? What? Do you want to give the corn maze a go? Yes or no? Do I need to beat the high score? Yes, but we're going to do that another time. Keep going another way. Where am I going to go? Where should I go? I don't know. I want to go to the movie. Oh, look. Here's the bug. Bug report. If you want to submit a bug, come here. Submit a bug. Tell us what's going on. How do we fix it? It's up to you. I don't know. We'll do it together. All right, let me go to first person again. It gets more fun. Ding, 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 ding. I like to just sing to myself sometimes. Apologies, but we're going to go back in the theater. Check out some movie action. Now we relax. Now we feel a little better. Let's see. All right, so the Prophets Theater is loading. Let's see if we have any comments that I need to respond to. Ket here. Love all the potential. Would be awesome if we could. Oh, that's what Pat said here. We'll show that again. Take note. Block of Horror team. I agree with Ket here. And like we talked about with Pat, this is inevitably where we want to go. Is really make sure that every keeper of the block has the utmost amount of tools, capabilities, inspiration, and empowerment to make the block experience the experience they want, and in any and every way possible. So that's the goal. That's the dream. Dream with us, right? And just like anything, it takes a village. So the more people are involved, the more participation, the more, especially when we have cool new things. Don't be afraid to hop in. Don't be afraid to tell your friends. The more we do together, the more opportunities we're going to have to really kind of get the things we really, really want to do. Let's see the audience award. I think voting has ended. Mike told me, I believe voting has ended. So now there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is, okay, this is really important. The good news is Blocktoberfest was amazing. Okay. The better news is the awards we're going to give away at the end of Dark Friday event weekend. So we're going to do our final screening or so, Blocktoberfest, one more time with the audience award at the end of it. It's important to know that because not just the audience award, I think we have 4 awards. We're going to be giving them out to the winners. The audience award is the one that is exclusively from the fans in the Block of Horror that voted. So the Audience Award has a special place in Block of Horror history. So imagine in 20 years from now, there can only be one Audience Award each year. And that's the one that the fans voted on. So if you voted, the Audience Award, I may or may not know who the winner is. Not going to tell you. But it's a great film. And I think everyone's going to be excited about the Audience Award winner. So be sure to check that out. Put that on your calendars. The Dark Friday event weekend, we'll have more updates and more specifics. But that weekend should be fun, and it'll conclude with a Blocktoberfest final screening in the movie theater, and obviously, our awards ceremony. Celebrate the creators, and some of them are going to get a cash prize. Again, no fee entry. So for my filmmakers out there, for anyone who understands the film festival circuits, I've submitted stuff in the past before. And festivals have to run, so I get it, but it does cost some money. So for our filmmakers right now, there's no cost. There's just opportunity to win, to show off your film in a whole new way. I don't know. To me, that's pretty cool. I'd be excited if I had a film to show. Makes me want to do a short film and submit it to my own festival. I don't know. I'm not going to do that. But this was the voting box. I think it's closed. I'll ask Mike. But this was the voting box. Pretty epic, pretty cool. I love the design of that too. Look at those little skeletons. Did you vote? I'm going to burn your ballot if you don't vote. Wait, is the ballot just... What is this? Look at that. They're like celebrating. These little demonic skeletons. What the... We could do whole live streams where we just talk about like the detail. Like, what the hell are these little skeletons doing? They're like celebrating being skeletons holding a ballot box while their feet burn. It's so interesting. Who came up with this and why is it amazing? Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Oh, Lab Rat. We'll definitely try to do more screenings of Lab Rat featured by Adventure. There'll be more information coming about all of this, but if you got to see that screening, it was the rave of the block. Let's just say it that way. So here we go. Dead Man's Curve. How I Brought About the End of the World. Such a good off the block episode. We'll definitely be doing more off the block episodes, which will have a great opportunity to stream also into the world. And so we can kind of play along in the world as we create new content together. Motor City Muckmen. And now let's go back in the theater. Let's see. Ooh, looky here. Yourself some friends in here watching. And again, if you hit 2, if you're in the theater, you get the widescreen version. So if you want the full screen version, you just want to watch a movie, well, here you go. 1 puts you back out, and then you can also just find a seat if you want. Just kind of, if you're like you're at a real movie theater and get the real McCoy. I don't have the volume on, so you guys have to go into the world to watch it, but blockofhorror.com. It's 1 click. Boom, you're in. Come to the theater. Oh, God, his arm's missing. Let's see if people are chatting. Hey, everyone. Back here. They know because my name's here, but whatever. I'm back. How's the movie so far? Movie so far. Am I talking too much? And that's why also we turned off the audio in the movie theater so that for the movie-going experience, for people that just literally just want to watch a movie, they can do that and not be bothered. But also we kept the chat feature on so people that want to kind of chat a little bit can still have that kind of interactive experience while they're watching the movie. So kind of gives an option for either or. And I think we had an idea earlier today, or I had an idea based on Pat's inspiration, that maybe we have some very exclusive screenings of things where the audio comes on. We get the audio turned on, and so we can really have a live cacophony of, I don't know what would happen, but imagine 100 people in a live virtual movie. Would there be interesting things that are added to the experience? I don't know. It could be a total crap shoot. But that could be something we explore and test. And again, we're kind of in the experimental phase. And kind of this is our Frankenstein that we're, playing with a little bit. He's alive. he is alive and he can do things, but we're still tweaking, right? We still put him to sleep at night, little, give him a little juice and say, oh, what else can you do? So that's why it's important, especially right now. Explore with us. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you want, and even more so. So, the sky's the limit. Let me see. I don't know. No one wants to talk to you right now. Let me see too. And it's Halloween. I understand if you're in the U.S., you're going to be going out trick or treating, partying, dressing up, all that fun stuff. So let's see. Kind of just want to watch the movie now. In silence. In silence. Who's in the comments? Can people see my comments? Hi, friends. I want to comment. Hi, friends. What platform are you seeing this? What platform are you seeing this comment on? So I think after an hour, Instagram stops. I could be wrong. I don't know. It says it's still live. Yeah, maybe that. Hey, everyone. Oh, people joined. I don't know. Interesting. We're learning, and that's also a big part of our ethos here at Block of Horror is a growth mindset, which basically just means we're always trying to grow. So no matter how big Block of Horror could ever get, like, our job is to never get big-headed. So we can get big, but not big-headed. Like, if we're not checking in with our community, if we're not really staying in tune with the ethos of why we started this thing, then we're doing it wrong. And so, it's kind of like a checks and balances thing. Don't be afraid to check us, constructively. But, this is our collective, block of horror. It's there's a reason why we called it a block of horror, and it's because the block represents, a neighborhood, right? It represents a piece of a puzzle, so to speak. And so, the block is collective. It's all of ours. It's not just, one person's or anything like that. It's literally the community's. So, so you own it in a sense, and we want you to feel like you own it, and we want you to feel like you have say and can kind of, find ways for us to do different things and make our dreams come true. I'm still wearing this mask. I can't believe you guys made me wear this mask for 2 hours. Nobody said, Zach, you look silly. Take that off. What are you doing? Don't do it. Don't. I know it's Halloween, but you're on a live stream. Like, you're on Block of Horror's channels. You can't do that. You got to be professional. And honestly, that's why I love horror. Can I say the F word? I don't know. Is it bad luck? It's okay. It's okay to do things differently. It's okay to express differently. And Halloween is literally the best holiday of the year because of that. It shows that it's okay for people to just let themselves go, experiment, show different sides of yourself, different sides of characters you don't even want to be, play, use your imagination, enjoy things you normally don't get to enjoy throughout the year, right? That's why I think Halloween is so popular. It's about really being independent and expressing yourself. Like this poor lady on the table, she can't express herself because she's on a table and she looks like she's not breathing right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm not paying attention yet. But this guy looks like he could use a day off. He could use he could use a Halloween night. He looks a little tense, a little pensive. Maybe he should dress up as Dracula. Maybe he should go trick-or-treating, take his kids. Maybe he wouldn't be so tense, At least that's how I'm seeing it right now. Now, what is he doing? He looks like a steamer. And the headless woman. I think we're going to get a head transfer here at some point. And that's another key component of the Block of Horror is, for anyone listening, who is Zach? Where did he come from? Why horror? I'll give you a little tidbit, and I'll probably talk about this a lot more over the time that I'm out there. For me, horror starts from a storytelling perspective. It starts from it's the highest stakes, right? So look what we're watching right now. I mean, he's got a headless woman. Okay, he's got another woman on a table. Like I don't even know what's going on right this second, but I know the stakes are high. Something bad's about to happen, or good, but it's a horror, so we know it's probably not good. But that's amazing from a creative perspective. Nothing is more important than stakes. Like if I wrote a story, or I told you a story about the time I walked down the street to go get my groceries and I paid them and then I came back home, it was the most boring story in the history of the world. But if I say I went out the door, I left my key inside, so I couldn't get back in. Oh, and I didn't have a phone. Oh, and then a car sped by and threw something out at me, and I picked it up, and it was an envelope, and it said, if you don't go to the store right now, you're going to die in 5 minutes. Well, now the stakes got really raised, and then I hear footsteps behind me, and it's someone sprinting at me. Now the stakes are getting higher, right? And then it just keeps going. Well, that in essence, that's horror, right? Like that's thriller, horror, that type of content. Like, dude, he just got grabbed. He's getting grabbed from behind. Like, what? I'm totally missing what's going on right now because I'm not watching enough. But like, stakes are going up, and this is what makes it so entertaining and so interesting from a storytelling perspective. So that's where it starts from a storyteller's perspective, and I think that's why a lot of creators, big names, etc., kind of get their start in horror. Is it allows for the biggest stakes and the like basically the best stories. Like you can really go to the farthest lengths to put the pressure on your story and your characters to see what happens. And that's kind of built into the horror community ethos is real expression. Is there are rules, like there are, like horror fandom has its own kind of quirks, but like anything goes and it's okay. It's okay to like express yourself and to push boundaries, to dare to fail, to, make a feature film for $500 and put it out there and people will support it. Like people will support it. They're not going to support a drama. They're not going to support a $500 comedy. Like they're just not. It's not going to happen. But you do a $500 feature film horror, you will get people to go, wow, that was actually pretty good. Even if it's clearly like you don't have production value, like, it's you have actors who are not real actors, like it's okay. But there's people that will support you because they understand that you're liberating yourself. You're allowing yourself to express and to be free to do things. So back to the movie. It looks like we got lady on the bench being picked up by a monster. Again, I've missed the context of what was happening before, so I apologize. And I don't think I've seen this movie. I have not caught up on my horror classics. I tend to like the new stuff more and more. But I do appreciate it. Like last year we did our screening, our pre-show for Blocktoberfest. I really like that. So Head That Wouldn't Die, the end. I like that ending. The stakes got really, raised at the end there. Let's see what we got next. I think we have Night of the Living Dead. I think that's what's going to be up next. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, I got to figure it out on my schedule, but I'd love to be available more for people in the community, keepers of the block, in the block. Like maybe I'll just go to the block, I'll schedule it, say every, let's say a Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern to start, or something like that. I don't know yet. You can find me at Bones Coffee Shop. Maybe I'll change it per week. And if you want, you show up and you talk to me, ask questions, have ideas, things you want to spitball. Because I think that, in this kind of world, I'm a part of it as much as anybody, as in I'm just another keeper of the block. So if there's anything I can answer or ideas that you have that you think would make this better experience and more communal and more interesting, I definitely want to hear them and want to give everyone a chance to kind of see it for themselves. Okay, this is an interesting setup to the film. But yeah, that's about I think all I got for tonight. But if you want to watch the movie, go into blockofhorror.com, click the link, boom, you're in. It's that easy. It's really that easy. That's the point. But yeah, appreciate everyone coming. Appreciate you, Jill. Ket here, thank you for your input. Very valuable insight. I think we definitely want to steer in that direction. We'll continue to develop, through our development team, what we can and can't do at this point, and then, how we can roadmap those types of things. But yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. We'll have some big updates along the way. And happy Halloween, everybody. And I'm still wearing this mask. Why did you let me do this? But I appreciate it. And we'll conclude.